Welcome back to SA Today. Now, artificial intelligence can bring in $136 billion in work benefits for South Africa and other developing African countries. Well, that's the message from Communications Minister Mondli Gungubele during his keynote address at the National AI Government Summit at the JBS Business School in Auckland Park here in Johannesburg. Now, he says artificial intelligence and technology must address the needs of the people and be open and inclusive to all. Gungubele has urged leaders in the public and private sectors to work together to develop a strong AI policy that will help South Africa deal with the needs of the poorest and most vulnerable in the country. SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya has more on that story.
All right, well, we're still here at the National Artificial Intelligence Government Summit that's happening at the JBS UJ Auckland Park campus. And it really has been a hive of activity with different stakeholders and different companies showing their wares and also showing what kind of technologies that they have to showcase. And before I introduce my guest, the keynote speaker at this summit, I'm going to ask my camera colleague, Vanessa, to show you what wares are here in store. And just behind me, we have this absolutely interesting and innovative technology that we are seeing here. This is a little robo-dog that has been brought here by the Tshwane University of Technology members, and they've used this robo-dog to program this particular dog in being able to meet the technology needs. And this is what Minister of Communications, Tate Gungubele, has been talking about when it comes to marrying technology and artificial intelligence with the needs of the people. Thank you so much, Minister, for joining me. Very interesting robo-dog. What's your first impressions of this real-life, realistic-looking like pet?
It's a display of the potential of humanity. Because what you see is the creativity and innovation of human beings. But at an advanced stage, it demonstrates how far human beings, how limited the human energy is. How unlimited the human energy is. It's quite exciting.
You know, talking about human energy and unlimitedness, when you spoke on the podium now, you spoke from the heart and you said, while South Africa is a leader in terms of humanitarian efforts and talking for people who are going through strife and struggle, we shouldn't be left behind with technology.
It's a brilliant thing to lead in human rights. You know, when I was in Davos, one lady came running to me and said, because of what our president has led us together with Naledi Pandor and Lamula, she said, human rights, says the principles of liberty and humanity. The platform has changed from Paris to South Africa. Now that makes South Africa a main reference for human rights. Now the challenge then we need to accept is how that goes hand in hand with our leadership in technology. Because when we lead in technology, we lead in leveraging humanity, the worst poor, the worst disadvantaged, the worst marginalized. That is where practically the human rights activity takes place. Yeah. We are on the move to make sure that the leadership of the president, together with Minister Naledi and Lamula, and representing this country, is actually accompanied by South Africa moving fast in being counted, in staying apace in as far as this digital technology is concerned, where we make sure that we're inclusive, we leave no one behind. That finds expression in the number of houses we've connected since July until now, which is no less than 3/4 of households.
Leadership, so important. And when it comes to ensuring that regulation and policy is put in place, there definitely needs to be leadership around ensuring that the AI space is regulated, but also open enough to enable creativity.
The most critical thing, that's why I'm excited about this inaugural summit, is that it's a first of its kind. South Africa has got a lot of capabilities. The only thing that they are not coordinated, they are not led. We go and look for those capabilities outside. Not long ago, Professor Marala said to me, the most critical things in the digital technology dispensation, he said, is computational capacity and data. And then data and computational capacity. Computational capacity is the ability to make effective use of data. Now, there are complex solutions that need particular computational capacities. He says we want to look for this capacity to deal with a particular problem, only to discover that it's here in Pretoria, in the CSIR. What does it say? You need this summit, where we've pulled all schools, universities, professors, private sector. I'm going to appoint a council here, which is going to be inclusive of the private sector, public, civil society, that's on a day-to-day advise government on what initiatives are on the AI to make sure that there's a lot of readily available technologies to the poor. But if we do not connect, we don't know what those technologies are. If you listen to Microsoft, the lot of technologies they have on AI, which are readily available to be in the hands of poor people, we wouldn't know that if we don't sit like this and move the walls amongst ourselves. So that
remove the silos.
The silos amongst ourselves, and make sure that that which is at our disposal is taken advantage of. Merely taking advantage of what is already here will take us leaps moving forward.
Yep. Minister, before I let you go, very briefly, what do you hope is the ultimate outcome of this summit, aside from the public-private partnerships and leadership coming together?
Remember, we're tabling here a draft policy on how we propose AI should be led in South Africa. We want to hear their voice and the process of critiquing it, panel beating it, and until we take it to the cabinet. And we want to make sure that we move together with DSI and other departments to make sure that when we talk to the public, the government is in one.
Thank you very much, Minister. We're going to leave it there. I see that it is coming out, so we're going to let you go. And thank you very much. Vanessa Langa, my camera colleague, is going to show you these last shots of RoboDog as he's being programmed to showcase what he can and he cannot do. And you can see here that this is really what the minister is talking about when he talks about private-public partnerships and using innovation to try and ensure that the poorest of the poor and the most vulnerable in society are the ones that benefit from artificial intelligence, from technology, regulations and policies put in place by government.